And welcome back to Bunters Yard. So today we are putting together the Type 15 signal box. This is the O gauge version, and it comes in two variations, one with the wood clad at the bottom and one with the brick. We're building the wood clad one today. Now if you're following this because you've got one of these from us, then I suggest you just watch through a couple of times, just get an idea of all the parts go, and then you can work out your own process for assembling your Type 15 signal box, just to make it easier for painting. Obviously you're going to fit things like windows and stuff later. So for the wood clad version, there's a set of inner walls and there's the cladding as well. Now for the longer walls, they fit exactly over there, so there's no overhang at either end. On the shorter walls there is a 2mm overhang if you look from the back, once we fit that together, and that's at either end 2mm there. Now for the cladding, difficult to see in this picture, is just so you know what the right way up, it doesn't really make a lot of difference, but just to make sure it's correct, is that the bottom slat is ever so slightly bigger than the rest of the slats, and on the interior walls there's a big arrow to point to the to upwards, so you know what ways it goes. So my personal opinion, as I say, is on the wood clad is to fit the cladding first, just to glue it to the inner walls, and it makes it easier to put together, and that's back to front. Let's put that right. Now I'm using rocket glue to assemble all of the wood parts. Just makes it kind of gives you a little time to maneuver things around if they don't set properly. Super glue does seem to sort of suck into this really quickly, so I use that for a few parts but not a lot. So once all the walls are set, we can then fit them all together. Now we can have a left or right-handed signal box, and for this one we're going to make a right-handed version, and the parts are kind of interchangeable, so you can have it left or right-handed, depends on what you're modelling it on. And once the walls are together, you'll see that little groove down the side, that little channel, and we're going to put tank in there a bit later on, but just to give you an idea, there should be that little recess at the ends there. So just put them in dry, but obviously you need to glue yours in. Now if you're going to fit things like, you know, lights and interiors and stuff, I'd probably suggest you would not glue anything to any of the floors or the ceilings, and do that last, just leaves everything much easier. For the brick, you can see there, they just fit together with those finger joints, and I would fit those after you've attached the inner walls, then you just get a smoother joint. So in the kit you'll see a bag of these sort of black MDF pieces. These are window frames and door frames, so those ones are for the wood kit, and these are the corner pieces. In the wood kit you'll have 8, in the brick you'll have just 4 of those. And then the door frames, they're the same on both. So you've got these outer door frames, slightly different sizes. The bigger one is for the upper floor, and these are smaller door jambs if you want to choose those. I'll show you where they go in a second. Let's put those bits out of the way. Just going to work on the bottom, and then there's the glazing sheet. Now this sheet does both the brick base version and also the wooden clad version. So there'll be a couple of pieces on here that you won't use, and there's a couple of spares as well. So if you cut your glazing, rather than gluing it in on this particular one, you just have to pop it in. It sits there in the little sort of rebate, and then you can glue the frame on afterwards. Maybe just glue around the edge, and it just keeps the glue off of the glass. Makes it a little bit nicer. These wooden sections, these are you know, the frame. This glue on to the end on the 4 corners, and then the door jamb fits in there, and that just leaves a space for the door to pop into later on. So the upper floor, so this is etched with floorboards on one side, And then again, similar to construction, we've got the inner walls, and then the sort of outer cladding or the battening that goes around the outside. The inner walls are etched on both sides, so again you can have it as a left or right handed box. Depends on what you're modelling it on, or if you've got a particular preference. So it would either fit that way or that way. Now I find this easier to assemble the four walls first, and then fit the cladding on afterwards. These just join together at each of the ends of the edges, so if you're not going to attach it to the base, you just need to glue around the edges first until you get your structure, and then fit the cladding on afterwards. But if that gives you access to fit your interior, then by all means glue them directly to the floor and have that as a complete section. So then the cladding goes over the front. The section for the front and the back are both the same shape, and it will leave that small sort of rebate where you can fit your windows in a moment. Just going back down to the lower floor, there's the door frame fitted, and this is the card for the doors. So the smaller door is the one down the bottom. Just there's a little tab holding them in, and that's the piece for the back of the door. And we're just going to glue those together, and then you can fit that in the door. There we go, just in there. It's quite a snug fit, so just dry fit it first, just to see how you get on. Now for the upper door, slightly different because it's made from a few more pieces. Has the panel at the bottom. There'll be a piece of glass that goes above that, and you'll find that on your glazing sheet. Now, because this piece of glass is sitting very similar in size to another part that we're going to use, I've just turned it on its side. It's the bit at the top there that I pointed to. That's the glazing for the door. So for the windows, the upper windows, and you can fit these in two different ways. It's entirely up to you. There's enough of these window frames to fit them front and back, so you can sandwich the glass in between. So if you're going to see the interior, if you're making an extra effort to add some detail to that, you would then have a frame on the inside. If you're not, you can just glue the glass directly to the back of one of these pieces and then just fit them that way. These comes with sliding windows, where it gives the effect of a sliding window, so you can pose these open or closed. So there's two of these little sliding windows for each of those. There's 8 in total, and again you can sandwich the glass in between if that's what you want to do, and they would just attach just over there in an open or closed position. And there's one with the glazing in. Now I'm only going to do the one just to make this video a little bit quicker, but obviously you would take a bit more time. These are quite a fiddly thing. The glazing is not one of my favourite jobs, I must admit, because of getting glue everywhere, and I'm a bit fingers and thumbs with glue sometimes. Anyway, so that just pops into the that rebate that you would have formed when you fitted the glazing, and there's the door and the side window fitted as well. That just clips on the top there. It's quite a tight fit, so just have a little manoeuvre about and you can get all the lugs to fit, and it's, as I say, it's quite a snug fit. So for the roof comes in a number of sections. So there's 3 different layers for this part. It's not really the roof, this is the canopy. So the first one clips onto there. The other part will look very similar, but the lugs are in the wrong place, so you can't fit it incorrectly. Once that one's on, there's this thinner part, and then the other bit that goes on the top. And basically all you need to do is just to line them up so that hole in the middle is they match all the way through, and that will create that sort of small overhang. Now really this piece is there to simulate having a gutter, because there is guttering on them, but we're just using the card just to make it much simpler to build. The roof extension, these slant to the back, and they just fit in the lugs, as you can see in there. You would glue yours in place, obviously. I'm just doing it for a bit of speed. And then the final piece is the roof, and just pops on top, and again glue that into place. And I think they normally would probably have like a bitumen or asphalt covering on the top. That's what I intend to do with the ones that we're building. Final part for the roof are these brackets, and there's 8 of these, 4 long and 4 small, and they've got a small etch part way down which lets you create that L bracket, and they need to be glued in place. Now if you're leaving the roof sort of unglued so you've got access to fit interior, you might want to fit these later, or just glue the top part, not the sides, rather than sticking it all together. But they just pop into position there. The longer ones go at the front, and the shorter ones will fit around the side. So for the stairs, there's 2 sets for a left and a right. They're both the same. It depends on what order you glue them together, you'll see. But there's basically an outer bit, and then there's this part that accepts the steps, where it's got all the cutouts and the notches in. So you can see we're going to do the left-handed part in that way, and it's basically flip everything over and do exactly the same for the other side. That gives you a left and a right side for the stairs. Now for the steps, there's the larger one, which is the top step, and then we've got we need 9 stairs. There's actually 10 in the kit. Just made it easier to cut in that particular way. So you'll have a spare, you'll have one left over. Just release the notches, just the tabs, just cut them through, and they'll pop out. Now it's up to you how you want to put yours together. This is the way I suggest to do it, is I fit the top step and the bottom step, just holds everything kind of square, and it makes it easy to fit together. I would use super glue for these, and I use an activator, and it just sets it really quickly. Again, if you've got a particular preference of how you want to put yours together, entirely up to you. So that's got some super glue on, and then we've used the activator spray, and that will set really quickly. And we'll do the same for the bottom step as well, and it just kind of makes everything square and easier to fit together. Once that one is set, we'll use the activator as well. Once it's set, you'll end up with this, and then you can see the slots, and the steps will then fit in from the back of the staircase. And they just slide in there. So once you've got that bit done, they can then clip into the 2 small holes. Again, I would probably just dry fit this to start with, just so you know, to get the position of the handrails, and then paint it, and then fill it fully once all the painting is done, rather than attach it early on, because it makes it easier to paint otherwise. So just release the tabs on these, and both sides are exactly the same. I would suggest just gluing one of the those supports onto the side, just to get the position, and then glue the rest afterwards. and that's how that will end up, hopefully. Final touch is that our kits come with an etched name board. Just send us an email and let us know the name of your junction, and we'll make them for you and include it in your kit. These have two small L brackets, and we're just going to glue them into place, and then we can attach the boards. There's two boards for left and a right, both the same, but one for the left hand side and one for the right hand side. I find it easy to fit this if the building is upside down. So just going to super glue those into place. Bit of activator. And that's pretty much set, I think. There we go. So that's pretty much it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and if you want to order one of these, the link is in the description. See you soon on Bunters Yard.